By an decision here with Regan Glackin. How we doing today?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. It's an absolute sweatbox in Morrison's gym. Obviously not too long till your next fight. How are you feeling ahead of that?
Yeah, I feel good. Probably training's, as always, went good, but probably the fittest and strongest I've been now. I've been training really hard with Joe, senior, and all the good team about me, so feeling really good, feel confident.
Yeah. Obviously got your sort of pro career off to a fine start 2-0 and got a stoppage in the last fight. How did you find them?
Yeah, it was good. The debut was really good. I've got quite a big following, so the debut was special for me. In terms of my second fight, it was probably a better performance, but it was good. It was also good to get a stoppage. For all it lasted, it was only 51 seconds or something, but it was good. I'm just looking forward even more to the next one now. So.
How did you find the debut? Obviously, like sometimes you get a bit of nerves and.
Nah, do you know, people ask that all the time about nerves and stuff for the fights. I'm kind of just so used to it. It's good nerves rather than nervous, being anxious and know what to go out and fight. I'm more nervous to go out and put on a show for the people. Do you know what I mean? It's like a good energy type thing. So yeah, I felt good.
Yeah. And I think the second one you headlined the show as well.
Yeah, at both fights actually. The first one they let me debut, they let me handle top of the bill because obviously the tickets are sold, and then it was the same as the second one. I sold most of the tickets on both shows, so that's how I wasn't expecting my last fight, so it was another promoter's show, but they gave me top of the bill again, so that was 2 in a row, so it was good. I really enjoyed both of them. A lot of people have seen it as, some people might have folded and obviously pressure for the first 2 fights being top of the bill, but I'm kind of made for the occasions. I prefer that, do you know what I mean? So it was good, enjoyed it.
How have you sort of found adjusting to the pro ranks? Any sort of big differences?
Not so much, because as an amateur, I've trained obviously with our gym's got a lot of professionals in it. I think we've got 5 now. But at the time I was an amateur, I was the only towards the last few years, the only active amateur anyway. So I was always training with professionals. So. Yeah. Style-wise, I've kind of found it a bit better for myself, do you know what I mean? I prefer it, not the slow pace, but more sitting down in your punches and stuff, so I feel like I've transitioned quite good, just quite natural, so I prefer it. The style-wise and the longer rounds I think it's going to suit me anyway, so I feel it a lot better for myself.
Obviously you don't sort of see that difference at the start because it's only sort of a 1 round.
Yeah, it's only I think obviously people notice they change a lot more as fights get longer, do you know what I mean? Because it's only a 4 and 6 round fight, so as soon as you start, you kind of finish the fight, do you know what I mean? So, especially as fights go on, obviously, I'm still young, I've still got plenty of time, but as fights go on, that's when people obviously start to see, style-wise, it suits me a lot better over a longer period, do you know what I mean? So, I'm looking forward to that as fights go. I would fight 10-12 rounds an hour if I could, but obviously, you understand you need to build it up, so I'm happy with that.
Good stuff. Something I normally ask people first time I interview them is how they got into boxing. How did you get into the sport?
I got into boxing maybe about 10, 11 years ago now. I was a really good football player when I was younger, and my dad's friend, he owned a boxing gym. That was the first amateur club as I remember it, and it was Rob Roy ABC. And I just used to go down there for my pre-season for football, see, just for fitness and stuff. My dad always had us training for winter to summer, everything, so the summer for me was just, I enjoyed the training, so I just used to go down, and it started off with pads, and within about a week I was sparring and stuff, and then I kept that going for a few years and tried to go down like nights off for football, and quickly discovered I was probably better at the boxing than what I was at football, so I was always smaller at football, so as the older I got I was kind of getting left out and dropping down in levels. I was always talented, but so I kind of just took my focus to boxing, and then when I first said to my mum and dad like I kind of want to give football up and concentrate on my boxing, they were a bit shocked at the start because they know that I wouldn't have suited it. I was always kind of, if there was anything in the football part that was fighting or into mischief, it was always me, you know what I mean? So, but I did quickly then transition from football straight into boxing, and then once I focused on the boxing, that's when I moved to Joe, and I think I've been here for about 6-7 years now, so I've not looked back. I've just focused purely on boxing, and it's been the best move I've made. It's changed my night and day.
Who did you play football for?
I played with Celtic for 3 years, and then I actually played with Rangers as well. St Mirren and stuff for a few years, so sadly both sides. So no, actually I'm a big Celtic fan, but actually probably ironic, enjoyed playing the season more at Rangers as well, but I'm not sure I'd have said that on camera, do you know what I mean? I'll get a few hate mails, but I did. I played with Celtic and Rangers in St Mirren. That was the kind of the bigger clubs I'd played with, so. And then I quickly discovered it's either football or boxing, do you know what I mean? So when I kind of got to the end of football, I just kind of cut it right off, and then I've been non-stop with the boxing since, so.
Were you sort of part of that pro youth?
Yeah, it was pro youth, yeah. I was young when I was at Celtic. I played the year above Celtic. My age group, I was a 98, I played in the 97 team. I was at Celtic for 3 years, I think 3 seasons, and then I kind of Rangers kind of trial period for a year, and then I was at St Mirren for 3 years at the pro youth. Obviously through 11-a-sides and stuff up to about, I think it was about under 15s before I went into 17s, where I kind of calmed down with the football, and that's when I kind of focused on the boxing, you know what I mean? So, and then I've been fighting boxing competitively since I was about 13, 14 now, so the past 7, 8 years I've been kind of non-stop with that, so keeping busy, kept busy.
Were you sort of Celtic fan growing up there?
I still am. I've been for the season ticket since I was about 1 year old, so I've been to every game. I used to go to home and to away games, but obviously with the training it's so demanding. Obviously Parkhead's just round the corner. I'm a big Celtic fan, so I get the home games every Saturday, most Saturday, every second Saturdays, but I don't get to go as much of the away games as I'd like to, but I do try and go to as many as I could. I just like to add in it, so obviously not a good weekend for the football, obviously, do you know what I mean? I tried to get into Ibrox, and unfortunately because I never got a ticket, but we tried to sneak in with copy tickets, but we soon got caught, so.
Did you not tell them you were an ex-player?
No, I didn't even tell them, I didn't get the chance, they hustled me out the crowd right away, so. Nah, it was a bad weekend results-wise, but good training, bad result.
Aye, the title at least.
Aye, so at least that's
makes
it,
it a bit
innit?
easier.
At least that's it.
How did the move to Rangers come about then? You said about a trial.
I was at Celtic and towards the end of the third year, just development issues and stuff. I was like, they said height didn't play a part, but we knew it did, do you know what I mean? That's kind of, so I get fed up. I ended up, Celtic never re-signed me, so, and it's just obviously football's all about contacts, you know what I mean? So I knew people involved that knew I'd just left Celtic and stuff, so I get in trial with Rangers, and I was in there for about 9-10 months, and I loved it. And then unfortunately, they obviously thought I was not good enough, so I thought, well, obviously I was, but so then that was kind of the end of the 9 year, 10 months like that. But
And we're wearing the blue shirt.
so I see, to be fair, blue didn't suit me as much as green and white, but I did enjoy Rangers as well. But Celtic's obviously my boyhood club, do you know what I mean? I would have rather have stayed there, but times change, can't pick and choose, so take it as it comes.
Did your brother do football as well, I think?
Yeah, my brother plays football. My brother's really good. He's been unfortunate. He was kind of peaking and making a few appearances for Clyde, and he was at Airdrie as well, professionally. He had a bad injury, done his cruciate. So that's kind of set him back, but I think more now he just does it for enjoyment really, rather than. But he's still good enough, so I just hope somebody comes in and gives me a chance, you know what I mean? Because he works with me, he trains every day as well. He comes, runs with me, he trains with me. He calls himself my promoter because he fights, tickets and that. I'm always too busy with training and work and stuff. He's got spreadsheets made out with tickets, who's paid, who's to pay and that, so I do appreciate him a lot. He's a good fan. Aye, so it takes the pressure off me and he can handle that side of it, so I take him always, I try and give him money for it, he doesn't accept it.
If you've got to keep an eye on those spreadsheets, if he's taking
a
slice for himself.
I know, so he takes pride in all that, so I take him out for dinner and a few beers after a fight and that to say thank you, so I've got a supportive family, so like I says, they'll help me a lot with all the training and work and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's very demanding stuff, so my mum, the washing she goes through is unexplainable. I'm training twice a day, so obviously as you expect, the washing and ironing stuff, it's a lot, do you know what I mean? But I'm just glad I've got a good family and friends that support me as well, do you know what I mean? As well as sponsors and stuff, so.
Yeah, good stuff. When you were sort of starting, what age were you when you started to step up the interest in the boxing?
I'd say around about 14, 15. And then I had 3 fights with my past amateur club, and then when me and my dad obviously sat down, and my dad said obviously it's like, I've always been a type where if I'm into something, I've done every sport there is, fishing, golf, whatever, it's 100% or nothing. So when I gave up football, it was like to my dad, I need a big change. So I stepped out of my comfort zone, that's when I moved to Joe. And at that time he'd had the likes of Joe Ham, Nathaniel, Stuart Butt, Jack Turner. And that time he had even with Reece McFadden now, we had all the good names and stuff. So for me, I knew to progress, I had to then step out my comfort zone. So I moved to Joe with Hayfield around about 7 years ago, and that's when I've kind of took it full on since. I've never looked back. And the change is, honestly, it's crazy. I had 3 fights, and then I think Joe had made about 20 odd fights. I've had about 25, 26 fights, and the change, especially with Joe, has been night and day. He's brought me on so much. Out of the ring, obviously, as well, he's a big help, do you know what I mean? He's more than a coach, so Joe's done a huge change in me. And that's what I needed.
How did you find it when you sort of first came down to this gym?
I was a bit. I'm not a nervous person, but obviously I was young. I didn't really know him then. All these people were proven champions and proven where I was just. I always had natural talent, but I was just somebody that done it for fitness. So when I fully focused on it, I was kind of obviously a few levels below them when I first came. So I was a bit nervous when actually to start, but I was soon kicking off, and obviously I realised that when I first came here I could handle, and my talent was just as good. So it was just about kind of getting on with that, and the boys were really good to me when I first came, so it was good. It was easier than what I thought. I thought it was going to become like feel left out, obviously, as you do when you're new to something, but fitting perfectly. So it's been brilliant since, and obviously I've known the boys now for 6-7 years, so it's a really good atmosphere in the training and stuff. So couldn't have been any better, to be fair.
There's quite a lot of you that have obviously gone pro within sort of the last year or two, and you're all sort of similar age as well, which I guess sort of helps a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we've got me and Nathaniel. He's the closest age to me. So I wouldn't say there's anybody that you're closest to in the gym. We're all close to each other because we see each other every day. Do you know what I mean? Well, that's a good or a bad thing with some people, but we've got a really good bunch of boys. Obviously stuff like Reece McFadden coming as a good character into the gym and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And Joe and Stuart, who are older, but they're not saying older than me, do you know what I mean? They're 25, 26, whereas there's a few younger ones, but we've got a good stable, and we're all, obviously, as you see with records, speak for itself. We're all champions, amateur, all the way through to professional, do you know what I mean? So, and it was very good in my debut, obviously. I had Stuart and Joe in the same bill as me, do you know what I mean? That was a busy night for Joe Senior, but that was very good, obviously, for my 2 teammates to be better on my biggest night, do you know what I mean? So they helped me a lot with advice and stuff running up to it, so it's very good. We've got a good gym here, so that makes the training obviously a lot easier. As hard as it is, do you know what I mean? It makes it easier knowing you're coming here with people that get the same aspirations as yourself, do you know what I mean? So.
When did you sort of start competing a bit more? Was it sort of shortly after you joined here?
Yeah, well, like I said, I only had 3 fights for the last gym, so it was kind of when I moved with Joe, and then I was right into championships and stuff, and since I moved with Joe, the fights obviously get tougher because I only fought in the big championships, and I only fought big names, to be fair, when I was with Joe. Do you know what I mean? Although I had 25 fights in amateur, some people might think that's not enough experience or not a lot compared to others, but in the 25 fights, the level and the opposition I fought at was obviously, in this country, it couldn't get any better, do you know what I mean? So I only lost to the best, and I think out of the 26, I only lost 4 or 5 times, so, and that was in championship semi-finals and stuff, do you know what I mean? So I done well as an amateur. I had a lot of good names in that, my record, so I started to pick up a lot more when I came to Joe. So.
You're obviously still quite young. Why did you want to go pro so early? I've always been, my style's always been a lot suited. The 3 rounds as an amateur, like MD can win a 3-round fight, do you know what I mean? But the pace in the amateur, the style never really suited me. I'm more, obviously I get better as time goes on, and obviously let my fitness and strength show, so the longer rounds and the different style suits me a lot better. I prefer sitting down your punches a lot more and generate more power and stuff, do you know what I mean? So with the training in here, I've always kind of had a pro style, so after I won the Western Districts in November, me and Joe thought it was perfect time for the change, do you know what I mean? Because I was coming up for 21, although that's still young. I'd rather have a few years learning the pro game more, because obviously my style's a lot suited more to that, so I'd rather have a few years and no rush anything, like, and just see it that way rather than hang about amateur, because you know what amateurs like, it's more who's who, do you know what I mean? Rather, there's been a lot of fights where amateur every week you have a fight where somebody should have won but the home fighter and the favourite gets it, so I was kind of sick of that a bit as well, because a few of my losses as an amateur to a few good names that are now professional, I didn't feel that I get beat or anything, do you know what I mean? So amateur is your face fit, so I kind of thought the professional was the right step to go, do you know what I mean? So and I've loved it. I've been night and day, so it's actually got me a lot more support as well. I had obviously good sponsors that still sponsor me now, but in terms of going professional, obviously everything goes up a level, so it's changed night and day for everything really, to be fair, so professional's been the best choice I've made,
Do you have a job sort of?
Yeah, I work, I'm a full-time HGV mechanic. I actually work just less than a mile from here, so I train in the morning. I get up and run or have strength work in the morning, work an 8-hour shift and I come straight here every day, so it's tough fitting all in, but if it was easy everybody would do it, I suppose, wouldn't they? So I'm just looking forward to it. I'd say about another year. I've got good aspirations, so about another year of my job and then I'm going to, obviously I train basically full-time now, but I just want the difference when I go full-time in the boxing, don't have to work's going to be the change as well that will only bring me on. So this time next year I'd expect fully to not be working anymore, so can't wait for that.
Tried your hand at another career?
Nah, just boxing for now. Maybe after boxing I'd look into other careers, but
I've seen you have a modelling, acting profile.
Oh, that was that was something. That was when I was about 16 and it was just me and my pal done it. It's just this page, it was like something like models wanted or shoot, it was like fitness ones rather than fashion ones, you know what I mean? That's not really my scene, but to be fair, nothing really came of it, so I couldn't have been a very good model or applicant, so that was just more of a laugh, to be fair, but that's on Google as well, so I'm sure a few people got a laugh at that one.
Got a pretty colourful CV anyway.
I know. It may seem I've got a good CV, so that's just something else. I put that at the bottom, but boxing can go to the top, the modelling can go to the bottom.
Obviously you got your fight coming up in a couple of weeks in the 4-rounder.
Yeah.
Just to get sort of that bit more experience at this sort of level.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's another fight, whether it's 4 rounds, 6 rounds, just another experience for myself. I'm really looking forward to this fight because recently also, as well as the training here, I take things really seriously. I've also added a strength conditioning coach in as well. So on my days off for here, Joe kind of alters my schedule as well so I can fit that in. So I train like 6 days, I was like between 5 days a week, but now I'm like 6-7 days a week because of my days off. I'm in with my strength conditioning coach, you know what I mean? And he handles my diet, I've got a meal prep sponsor which is good, but he handles calories and stuff like that. So the last few weeks have been really hard, but I'm going to May 31st will definitely be a bigger performance than the last. Although it kind of be hard to top the last performance, but in terms of everything, strength, fitness, this fight is going to show a lot of people how serious I do take it for early on in my career, do you know what I mean? So I'm really looking forward to this fight, another opportunity just to go out there and impress. So.
Do you have to sort of get out any time before the summer, do you think, or this will be the sort of?
I think the way this is the plan, this is my 3rd fight in 3 months. I've been busy, so after this I've got my holiday, my friends 2 weeks after this fight, so I think I've got 3 full weeks in June, just rest period. I'll still take over after this fight. I've got 2 weeks to my holiday, so I'll still train and I think some of the boys, Nathaniel and that, might be looking at dates in June, so I'll still stay in the gym. I don't like breaks. I like just keep kind of. That's the difference with professional. In between fights I stay active, do you know what I mean? So after this fight I think I've got a few weeks in June rest and then looking probably August, September again. But obviously the summer I'll treat that as a pre-season and we'll keep training. So I'm also looking forward to a few weeks in June though, just for rest, you know what I mean? Purely because like I said, we work in boxing, it's hard to fit it in, but I do love what I do, but I'm looking forward to just that wee rest period, normality, going away with my pals and stuff for holidays. Get us a beer belly. I love my food and I'm not sure I like a beer or two as well. So after this fight, I get to relax and obviously all my supporters and stuff. I'll go out for a beer with them and stuff and that. So enjoy myself for a few weeks before the hard work. Because after summer, after the month of June's gone, I'll be straight back because I'll have a busy second half of the year. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight and then a well-deserved wee rest for a few weeks anyway. So I say a rest, but I'll probably be sitting in the house and I'll end up doing a runner coming in here to train. So I'm looking forward to it.
Something you do with the Morrison's gym. I know they go every year to the Wildcard gym in America. You obviously went along this time. How did you?
Yeah, this was it's usually the professionals that go. They've been going for a few years. Joe Stewart and Nathaniel went last year, and obviously I was in talks of going professional last year, so I was gutted that I wasn't going. So this year, that was honestly what an experience that was.
LA, it's honestly probably the best place. I've been so many holidays and stuff as kids growing up, but in terms of boxing and trip, that was an experience I'll never forget. Training and sparring with Freddie Roach, giving you advice and actually like impressed like Freddie and his right hand man, what's his name again? Ernie. That Joe and that keep in contact with, they were really impressed with all us in the gym, me, Stuart, Joe, Nathaniel. We got world class sparring, you know what I mean? I was sparring the likes of Scott Quigg and a boy from the Philippines called Romero Juno, was a knockout artist. Me and Nathaniel got a lot of good rounds in with them, so it was a brilliant experience. The faces, it was surreal because you only see these people on the television and stuff, do you know what I mean? So it was good to go over there, and the way I living over there is crazy. It's, the houses, everything, that's obviously one day where I aspire to go, do you know what I mean? I like LA and stuff, to hopefully headline shows myself one day, so it was an experience I'll never forget. And obviously the week I got back from LA, I was fighting 3 days later, so I thought the jet lag and stuff was going to maybe affect it, but to be fair I took it all in my stride, and I used the experience obviously in that fight, as much as it lasted again. It was over obviously within the first minute, but I learned that LA for me was a big wake up call, because it's alright saying you know you've got the talent, but it's sparring with these people, it's kind of proving to yourself, do you know what I mean? A lot of psychological things that you can compete at the highest level, so for me that was a big wake up call for myself, to obviously show what I'm capable of doing. So
what was the biggest sort of thing that you noticed with when you're saying like
it's just like you would think, see like sparring Scott Quigg, like the people that don't know boxing would think a 2-fight novice is a professional sparring with a 2-time world champion and stuff, or a world champion shouldn't hopefully be 2-time. They would just go in there and they wouldn't cope or whatever, but it's actual 50-50 sparring, do you know what I mean? And the good thing I liked about the wild card is there's no holding back, do you know what I mean? So it's if you're unfit or you're not ready, you'll get found out, do you know what I mean? So for me to go in there, and we were in there every second day, so we had 3 different days in a wild card sparring, and the downstairs, the private, there's obviously 2 parts of the wild card, so they were really impressed with all of us.
The 2 parts, I think I've explained this before in the Daniel's video, but like you got the sort of the general gym upstairs, and then you got the champions bit downstairs.
It's an invite only down. It's actually got like a coded door and stuff, do you know what I mean? So you couldn't just walk up to the wild card and fancy getting in there. You would.
Do you remember the code?
No, I can't remember the code, so I'm afraid I can't let you in. So you'd have to ask Freddie. But no, it was an unreal experience. We loved it. We just took everything. Any experience, any advice over there was welcome. Do you know what I mean? All for these people that have seen it all and done it all. Do you know what I mean? So. But it was very good. Also a good part of LA, I'm a huge Still Game fan. We actually met Victor, Greg Hemphill, we met him in the airport. And honestly, see, I don't go by a day where I don't speak about Still Game, whether it's see the group chat, my friends or that, we text each other. So we met Greg in the airport, and he follows young Joe Ham on Twitter and stuff. And we were speaking to him in the airport, and he was like, he's gone over, he had a boat over in LA, he's got a green card and that, and he was like, I want to come to the wild card and watch his spar. So we were like, aye, we'll message you. And to be fair, he messaged us on the last day of sparring, and he was saying, can me and my son come and watch his spar? So we got to the gym in the morning, and him and his son were already in the wild card waiting for us, you know what I mean? So that also was a big plus for me, do you know what I mean? Because I've grew up watching Still Games, so he came and he sat and watched the spar and had a chat with us and the coaches and stuff and that. So that was another good thing really as well. I met one of my idols, obviously, Victor from Still Games, so that was also a good part of LA as well, meeting him and stuff. So that was a brilliant experience.
Did you get on his boat or?
No, sadly we didn't, because we were too busy training. So sadly we never got on his boat, but maybe next year if he's watching, then I would like a shot at his boat, but maybe next year if he's still there. So hopefully.
What are your sort of aims for the rest of this year? You're sort of saying you don't want to go too...
Well, like I said, I've got this fight, focus on May 31st. Once that's out the way, I think we're looking possibly 3-4 fights at the end of the year again as well. So hopefully by the end of this year I'm looking at 6-7-0, ready to go into next year obviously, finish strong this year. But most of my focus is going on May 31st. I let obviously Joe, my coach, and Alec deal with my fights and stuff, so I just keep training and I'll take every opportunity that's given to me. So I want to stay busy, I want to stay active, do you know what I mean? Get my name out there, so I'm looking forward to as many fights as I can, to be fair. As long as obviously I'm not burning the candle fully out, as long as I'm getting that rest that I need and the training recovery, then we'll take as many fights as I possibly can. It's all experience, so.
no rush for sort of getting into like the bigger sort of like title fights yet? Or?
There's, like I said, my age, there's no rush. Like me personally, I would fight MD in my next fight. I'm the one of the, I would never be one for trying to protect a record or try to keep that zero in the record or stuff. See if I get an opportunity tomorrow, I would take it in a heartbeat. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be one of these people that sits and calls people out, but if anybody in Scotland or Britain or whatever, if I got offered the fight, I would certainly not knock it back, because I feel, especially in Scotland, I don't see another lightweight, to be fair, in Scotland at this point now that I don't think could beat me. So if there was any lightweight out there that offered me the fight or offered Alec the opportunity, I wouldn't knock it back. But like I say, I'm just taking each fight. I let them deal with opponents and stuff, so I would just get out there. I would never knock back an opportunity. As long as I had the right time and details and the opportunity to train and get a good camp and stuff in, then I would take any fight out there, definitely.
Because obviously Scottish champs, Calvin, at the moment, he's someone you faced in the amateurs before.
Yeah, I faced Calvin. He done well, obviously winning the Scottish. I heard that was a good fight. Both men down. I fought Calvin the first year I went into the seniors, so he beat me in the first round. But to be fair, I didn't get beat that fight. Calvin was obviously strong. I'd just stepped up to 60 kg and that was my first senior championship. But that was a fight I thought I'd won. Me and my coaches and a lot of people. So I wouldn't grudge the fight. I wouldn't think twice about accepting it now if it was to happen. Obviously Calvin's doing well obviously as well, so I'm not going to obviously say anything bad. Calvin's a good fighter. We shook hands before and after the fight, but it was definitely a fight that I look forward to. I would obviously look to avenge in the professional if I can, so I would definitely take that fight as well if it was presented to me, in a heartbeat.
What are your sort of aspirations in the sport as a whole? Where would you sort of like to be when you're
aspirations are, I don't have I wouldn't say right now I'm not going to get to level, I'm going to do this. I'm just happy taking each fight as it comes. I believe I've got the talent, I've got the team about me, I've got the backing of sponsors, I've got a good family, and more importantly myself, I've honestly determination and motivation like no many people. Like people always say, like, do you not find it hard doing all the training and stuff like that, whereas I enjoy it, I'm doing what I love, do you know what I mean? So I'm so passionate about it, so I don't see any reason, I don't see any boundaries why I can't go all the way. I've got a good team about me, I've got a good coach, everything. Alec looks after me well as well, and like also my sponsors, my dad's security company, Reload Meal Prep, Kensington Fitness, James Watson Dental, they obviously back me well as well and fund me good, so I don't see any reasons why I can't get to the highest level. I just take it each day as comes and hopefully one day reach the top, but I do believe I will be world champion one day and hopefully it pays off. Hard work always pays off, I'm a big believer in that, so I believe if I'm doing what I'm doing now and continue that, then there's no limits on how far I can go. So.
If anyone's looking to get in contact with like sponsorship or modelling opportunities, what's the best way to do that?
If anybody's looking for sponsorship or modelling, then just my Instagram, Regan Glackin _ or I've got Twitter and Facebook, just my name, so hit me up on that, but preferably sponsorship, no modelling. But I'm open to all offers, so I wouldn't knock a modelling contract back if I had it, so boxing first, modelling second, if that was the case.
Good stuff. Listen, thanks for your time and best of luck in your fight.
I appreciate you coming, thank you.